Hi everyone, so I did my research on Disneyland and how it all began. So a lot of you may not know that back in 1955 when they first opened up, it was only $1 for adults to go in and 50 cents for children to go in, which is something that really stood out to me because nowadays it's really expensive, well at least for most people, and you would have never thought that it was that inexpensive back in the day when they first opened up. So I decided to research about this because it's something that really interests me. I really like Disneyland, and I know that it's something that is well known around the whole world. So when I first started this, I just looked up websites that took me back all the way to opening day and just talked about how Walt Disney started with all this. But I found out that it wasn't just him that did Disneyland all by himself. He actually had his older brother, Roy O. Disney, help him out. Roy mainly focused on the finance side and just make sure that their business was running smoothly. While on the other hand, since Walt Disney had already experience in artistry, he used to be a commercial artist before, and then he worked in creating animated films in Los Angeles, so he became very popular and he already knew what he was doing by when he was getting into creating Disneyland. Since he was already very popular, it was a lot easier for him to get started and to get the word out to a lot more people. But he decided that he wanted to build Disneyland, and then he ended up buying land 24 miles away from Los Angeles in Anaheim, California. And he bought that land in 1954 and he started building that same year. And a few months later, before they opened, he sent out special invitations to guests that he wanted to go and show up just so they can get the word out to a lot more people. So what ended up happening with those invitations is that people that wanted to go but weren't invited, they started making fake ones. So at the end of the day, the amount of people that went to opening day was more than 28,000 that showed up, but he did not invite all those people. They just snuck in or made fake invitations to be able to join them that day. But even though opening day, they seemed prepared, they had 18 attractions and rides. They had food, drinks, everything seemed like it was gonna go great. They had that televised so that people at home could see, and then bring in even more people after that because they had that going on the news. So a lot more people were going to be watching and wanting to go and be able to join that fun. But Disneyland's first day of opening day was not successful at all. They ended up running out of food and drinks. They also had people getting stuck in the wet asphalt. They had to close down 3 out of the 5 lands there because of gas leaks. And then they also had to decide whether they wanted the water to be for working restrooms or if they wanted that for the fountains so they can be running well. So they had quite a mess that day. And on top of that, they were not expecting the amount of people that ended up showing up. But after that, just Disneyland kept growing, and they are a really big company now. Walt Disney was able to see Disneyland get started and finish all the way through before he passed away. But then after that, he never got to see Disney World or any of the other ones. So his brother Roy ended up not retiring at the age he wanted to, just because he wanted to make sure that Disney World was completed under his supervision, so he was able to see it all being built and kind of honor his brother in that way. So it really does amaze me that they have built that from kind of nothing. It was just a land, and they ended up building such a huge company out of just a dream they had together, and they made it work. And now it's like something that's known worldwide, and a lot of people go to every day, more than those 28,000 people that showed up on opening day. And now they don't run out of drinks or food, and they don't, they've been running for so many years. They don't close that often. They have only closed 4 times since they opened. The most recent one was last year in 2020 when they closed for the COVID-19, and but after but before then they had only closed 3 times previously. So it's really crazy that they were able to do that even though they had such a failure on opening day. So it's amazing how an amusement park can really be the happiest place on earth.